York State has recorded 630 more coronavirus deaths, another daily record that takes its toll to more than 3,500. Globally, the death toll due to the novel coronavirus has exceeded 64,500 and more than 1.2 million have been infected. More than 246,000 people have been recovered from the disease as of yet. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang and these are the headlines of the hour. The government decides to impose further strict measures in implementing the lockdown. Special attention to be given to the safety of health workers. Confirmed number of coronavirus cases in the country climbs to 9 as 3 more people from Kailali and Kantipur test positive for COVID-19 infection. New York records 630 more coronavirus deaths in 24 hours, another daily record that takes its toll to 3,565. Cases in the US state exceeds 113,000. And leaders Liverpool become the latest Premier League club to place some non-playing staff on temporary leave. Staff affected to receive 80% of their salary. The government has decided to impose strict measures in implementing the lockdown to contain the spread of COVID-19 infection in the country as the nationwide lockdown has entered its 13th day today. The cabinet meeting held yesterday evening at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar decided to apply strict measures in the current lockdown following the confirmation of 3 new cases of coronavirus in the country yesterday afternoon. The emergency meeting, which was called by Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, decided to restrict mobility of the public from one local level to another, from one district to another, and from one province to another. Likewise, the government decided to carry out rapid testing of coronavirus in 3 districts which have the highest number of cases. According to government spokesman and Finance Minister Yuvaraj Khatioda, the government has decided to perform the rapid tests in Kailali, Kanchanpur and Baglung districts.
Kailali, Kanchanpur र बागलुङमा हामीले छिटो विधिबाट त्यस्ता सम्भाव्य संक्रमित हुन सक्ने व्यक्तिहरूको टेस्ट गर्ने, जसलाई हामीले र्यापिड डायग्नोस्टिक टेस्ट भन्छौं, त्यस्तो र्यापिड टेस्ट गर्ने र त्यसको आधारबाट संक्रमित भएका शंका भएका व्यक्तिहरूलाई चाहिँ पीसीआर विधिबाट फेरि पुनः परीक्षण गर्ने, जसको आधारबाट शंकामा भएको संक्रमित व्यक्ति फेरि प्रभावित संक्रमित हो कि होइन भन्ने कुरो यकिन गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ। त्यसो हुनाले अहिलेको लागि यो 3टा जिल्लामा र्यापिड टेस्टको प्रक्रिया अघि बढाउने।
The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in the country has climbed to 9 as 3 more people from Kailali and Kanchanpur were tested positive for COVID-19 infection. Among the 3 infected, 2 had recently returned from India, while the 3rd person is a relative of a 34-year-old man from Dhangadi, Kailali, who was recently diagnosed with the virus. According to the Health Ministry, a 21-year-old man from Kailali who had recently returned from Mumbai and a 41-year-old man from Kanchanpur who had returned from Uttarakhand were tested positive for coronavirus. Likewise, a 34-year-old woman from Kanchanpur, a relative of the 34-year-old man who tested positive on 27th of March, has also been tested positive for the virus. This is the first case of local transmission of the virus in the country. The 34-year-old man had returned to Kathmandu from Dubai with a transit in India on the 3rd week of March. All the newly identified 3 people with COVID-19 infection have been admitted at the Sethi Provincial Hospital in Dhangadi. The samples of 10 people who came in contact of the man from Dhangadi were tested, among which the woman was tested positive. However, the results of the other samples came out negative. Almost 132,000 people had entered Nepal from different border transits of Sudur Pashchim province recently after the outbreak of the virus in India on 3rd week of March. Out of these people, merely a handful have been put in quarantine, which has increased the risk of infection in the country. Meanwhile, the Nepal Army has collected 92 samples for testing from different quarantine centers of the region on Thursday. A 66-year-old Nepali national originally from Parsa district who had attended a Muslim congregation in Nizamuddin in New Delhi, India was tested positive for coronavirus. The Nepali national has been kept in isolation at the Ambala Kent Hospital in Haryana, India. Speaking with Kantipur television, Chief District Health Officer of Parsa, Dr. Kuldeep Singh, said the health condition of the Nepali national is normal. The man had reportedly reached Haryana 2 weeks ago and had been living in a mosque at Mahesh Nagar in Ambala of Haryana along with 10 others who had attended the congregation. All the Nepalese in Ambala are from Parsa district. The Indian government has intensified its search for attendees of the Tablighi gathering after it was identified that a majority of the coronavirus cases seen in Delhi, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Telangana were in people who had attended the gathering. Earlier, the Indian police had taken into custody 8 Nepalese, 1 Sri Lankan and 2 Indians living in the Mahesh Nagar mosque and put them in quarantine. 2 of the Nepalese and Sri Lankans are in isolation after they tested positive for coronavirus on Thursday. 6 of the other Nepalese have yet to be tested. Thousands of Muslims from India, Nepal and other countries had participated in a 15-day international congregation in Nizamuddin, New Delhi between 1st to 15th of March. The Nepal government has initiated a search operation to trace the Nepalese Muslims who had participated in the event. Around 87 Nepalese have been identified and kept in quarantine at the moment. Meanwhile, 33 other identified by the Nepalese embassy in India who had attended the event have been kept in quarantine in India. According to the Indian Health Ministry, 647 of the total 2,600 infected had connections to the congregation. So far, 86 Indians have lost their lives to coronavirus. Welcome back. Shops selling vegetables, fruits and other food items have been given permission to open only during early mornings and evenings during the lockdown imposed in the country to contain the spread of COVID-19 infection. At such a difficult time, government institutions have been irresponsible by not introducing 24-hour mobile shops to ease the supply of consumable goods to the public. After imposing the lockdown in the country, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies had decided not only to provide consumable goods to the public at a subsidized price, but also decided to let its food and trade companies start the operation of mobile shops. There are 5 selling outlets of the food and trade companies, while there are 4 that of Salt Trading Corporation in the Kathmandu Valley alone. However, these selling outlets are open only from 12 noon to 3 in the afternoon during the convenient hours of its employees. The timing is not favorable to the consumers as they are restricted to come out during that period of lockdown. On top of that, these selling outlets are closed on Saturdays. At a time when the supply of goods needs to be increased, the government institutions are shying away from their responsibilities by citing lack of manpower to increase the hours of operation of the selling outlets. Due to the weakness of the ministry, the prices in the market have also skyrocketed, citing lack of products. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies has said its food and trade companies still have 24,000 tons of food and a tender has been called for the supply of an additional 10,000 tons. Meanwhile, Commerce Secretary Baikuntha Aryal has requested the public not to panic as Salt Trading Corporation has enough salt to meet the demand for another 9 months and also has enough stock of sugar and other food items. Likewise, the Nepal Oil Corporation has also stated that it has enough stock of cooking gas. As cooking gas has been imported from India on a regular basis and the consumption has been decreasing, the corporation is preparing to supply full cylinders of cooking gas instead of half cylinders, which it has been currently supplying. The consumption of petrol and diesel has also increased substantially due to the lockdown. Some businessmen have taken the lockdown as an opportunity to earn money. Keeping this in mind, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies should supply goods as as much as possible to the public through its companies. It is also important for the ministry to increase monitoring to control the skyrocketing prices of daily consumable goods. And it's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: what should government institutions do to ease the supply of consumable goods? Your options are: option A, introduce online coupons; option B, increase operation hours of stores; and option C, start mobile shops. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your options A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day and stay safe.